Hey everybody, it is Kneecap here, and welcome to This Week in WoW for the week of March 17th. We are in a bit of a coronavirus thing right now, so while I would say to everyone not to panic, I will also say be safe and be smart and be healthy, everybody. My heart's out to anybody being affected by this in any negative way whatsoever, whether economically or a family member suffering or whatever. So, hats off to those people, heart off to them too, I suppose. So let's go ahead and get into the video, and as always we'll start with the Mythic Plus affixes for the week. This week we have Fortified, Bolstering, Grievous, and Awakened. One more time, that's Fortified, Bolstering, Grievous, and Awakened. This is not a terrible week. Fortified and Bolstering are not great together, but for us non-MDI casuals, I would just say just only pull one pack at a time, and then it's not as bad, the Fortified with the Bolstering. It becomes an issue when you start making gigantic pulls, obviously. So, small pulls for us casuals, and the elite people can just keep pulling as they wish, right? So let's go ahead and get into what's going on in the game this week. We actually have, after last week, we actually have some things going on in the game this week, which is kind of nice, right? This week, we actually have two big changes coming, which is going to, in my opinion, help the patch and help the game in general quite a bit. So the first change, and I just put a video up about this separately, but did want to mention it here. The first big change is you can now get account-wide essences for your alts. So any character, so it doesn't matter which character has it. So if you have a rank 3 essence on a character, whether it's your main or just one of your alts, and you're playing on a character who does not have that, or does not have every single one. So until all your characters are equal, would be the best way to say it. Until all your characters are equal on the rank 3 essences, the characters that do not have them will earn a special currency from doing just random things, horrific visions, dungeons, raids, just the normal 8.3 content, assaults. You'll earn a currency, and that currency you'll be able to buy the rank 3 essence with that currency. So most people are speculating that it'll be pretty easy to get them all. They're not doing this as a way to gate it. They're just doing this as a way to get people to do the assaults on their alts and stuff like that, to keep the numbers looking good, would be my opinion. Even if it's only for a week or two, it's just a way to kind of prolong people doing it, maybe get into playing their alts, and then continue to play their alts after they've unlocked these essences. The other big change is Horrific Visions gear is now going to be corrupted. So in Horrific Visions, you get gear for finishing it, you get gear for doing a full run, you get gear for doing 1 mask, 2 mask, 3 mask, 4 mask, 5 mask, and each one will give you a different item level set of gear, and it's a guaranteed piece of loot for each one time you do those things. So once per week per thing you do. So let's say you're a mask, you always do it with masks on. You could technically get 5 pieces of loot, 5 masks, 4 masks, 3 masks, 2 masks, 1 mask. 1 mask being obviously the lowest item level of that loot. Well, now that loot is going to be corrupted. So even for kind of high-end players, it's going to be beneficial to do probably at least 2 runs a week, 4 mask and 5 mask. And I would say, for me at least, who's lacking corruption quite a bit, probably 3, 4, and 5 every week until I get some sort of corruption that I can actually use. That's a very good change. It probably should have been in the game earlier, to be completely honest. Other than those big changes, which are huge and actually really good changes, we also have the time walking event going on this week. Time walking is not that popular anymore. I will say this though, I have a little bit of a different perspective of it. Some more, and casual is not a bad word when I use it on my channel. A lot of people refer to casuals as bad people for some reason. That's not the way I use it. But a lot of really casual people still like time walking and still like to level in time walking and do that kind of stuff. So I have changed my opinion on it a little bit. I've been kind of downplaying it my last few videos where it's been the active event. So we do have the time walking event going on this week. I believe this is Northrend time walking. So Wrath of the Lich King. So that's actually one of my favorite ones. Other than that, we have 2 events as well this week, so this is kind of a big week as far as stuff to do, playing on your alts and getting corrupted gear. And then we have Ungoro Madness, so this is just a little mini event. this is not an event that's going to change your life in any way. It's not like a high-end event with high-end rewards, but it is one that I enjoyed. I have a video on it. If you search my channel for Ungoro Madness, kind of explaining what it is. If you want to try it out, you can look at that video and see. It's from a couple years ago, I believe, but it was actually a decently fun event, to be completely honest. And then the bigger event is Trial of Style weekend. So Trial of Style, hopefully they have new rewards. We'll have to see on that. That's the biggest downside to Trial of Style has been the lack of rewards for it, not the actual event itself. It's actually a really cool event. So you can go into the Trial of Style, you just queue it like your transmogrifier, and maybe even you can even queue in the actual journal. I'm not sure, or in the finder. But you queue for Trial of Style, and then you go in, change your outfit, whatever, try to win prizes. Tokens can be redeemed for rewards. The rewards have been lacking. Here's hoping we get better rewards. That's something really simple, I believe. I mean, yeah, the art team would have to come up with cool-looking transmogs, but I believe instead of trying to make it like thematic, well, they do need to be thematic. But instead of trying to make it like class fantasy transmogs, which they've tried to kind of do, like, oh, this really looks like plate, this really looks like mail. Maybe transmogs that look like a construction work, just like silly things, right? I think people would be more apt to do it if that was the case. So that's about it this week. Obviously, there's a ton to do, so everything I've mentioned is stuff I'm going to be personally doing. This actually has a lot of stuff to do this week. Obviously, I have to do my assaults just to get my coalescing vision, so I can do all my corrupted runs in horrific visions. And so tons to do this week. Very good week. Pretty excited about it after a really slow week. And amid this whole coronavirus thing, a lot of people might be stuck at home even more. Obviously, there's other things you can do but play World of Warcraft, but if you're stuck in the house anyways, this is a good week for it. So yeah, please subscribe to the channel because that helps me out the most, really. So and other than that, everybody have a good one.